Welcome to the 128th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us. On today's episode, we take you on some adventures. They're not knitting adventures, but one is all about food, and you know how Colleen and I like food. But we're excited to share that with you. Before we begin, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So first of all, let's talk about what May is wearing, and she is wearing the AQ cowl. I think I'm saying that right.
Very comfortable, by the way.
Callis, and amazing. I'm glad you used the word comfort because I used Barocco Comfort Sock. Now, Barocco Comfort Sock comes in plain colors. It also comes in colors that make stripes. So that if you wanted to make socks, those would be self-striping socks.
Very good, and I obviously have the striped one.
You do have the striped one, and it's purple, and it looks lovely on you.
Thank you.
It does, it does. And what I am wearing is called Lemon Difficult by Kate Atherley. And it is a brioche shawl. It's a smaller shawl. But the idea behind this is that I, when you're off to a yarn store, you'll pick something bright and then you go home and you think, ooh, that's pretty bright. So what you do with this pattern is you pick yourself a darker color or something that's a little bit more muted. So I picked black, and the other yarn is this side. So you can either have it super bright or have the black on the top. And the brioche is nice and easy. So if you're just learning brioche, this is a great pattern. So the plain black is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock. So that's what that is. And then the brighter color, which has obviously a little bit of purple, there's that greeny blue that you like. And that's by Rose Hill Yarns, and it's her fingering weight.
Very nice.
Exactly. So I could wear it like this, and if I wanted to be a little brighter, as in color, I want to be a little brighter, then I would flip it around. And what I've got holding everything in place is it's from Knox Mountain Knit Company, and it is one of their shawl cuffs. Now, you and I have made some shawl cuffs,
right?
But I had purchased this one before that. This one is actually one, when it's a smaller shawl, that size of cuff is something that I could wear on my wrist as a bracelet. So that's kind of double duty.
Very nice. It looks really great. I love it. Now, is it warmer because it's brioche? Or?
It's cushy. Mm-hmm. I'm really quite warm, actually. But I think it has to do that I'm wearing wool around my neck, and it's colder. We've got a little bit of snow in Ontario right now, but
it turned out great.
I'm really quite happy with it.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you so much. So that's what I'm wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is the La Laguna, and that's by Greta Menson. And I love this. It's because it's not too deep.
Oh wow, this is
nice. So it's really opened up. Now, when I measured it before I blocked it, it was 50 inches. Then when I blocked it, it was 75 inches, and when I took all the pins out, it ended up being about 72 inches.
It's beautiful, so soft.
Oh, it is. It's lovely. This yarn, if you've ever had Midnight Cravings yarn, if you haven't had, you should. It's light sock. It's beautiful, and it's really nice and soft. And if you've never blocked something, I would suggest you block something as well.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So you see how it's not too deep, so I can wrap it around a couple of times if I want to.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it really opened up.
Really nice.
It's a great pattern.
Is that one skein?
That is one skein.
That's a perfect one skein.
Exactly. I think I see a few more of those in my future because sometimes things are way too big, but that one is a nice one.
That's really nice. Mm-hmm. I think those would sell, but I think you'd have to charge a lot more money for them because of the yarn.
Yeah, I think so. But that's that.
That's okay.
So my next finished object is something to sell at our booth, and that is the Basic Pom Pom Beanie by Destiny Meyer. So I showed that to you before. Now I used Loops and Threads Charisma. This is in their taupe colorway. So you take a nice little hat, and then you add 2 pom-poms and a ticket on that side right over here. Yep, that's where I put it. And then all of a sudden somebody looks like a little teddy bear.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I really like that color when it's in that
Right.
little
No, the pom-poms are standing up nice.
Yeah,
That's nice.
absolutely. So I didn't put buttons in this one because it's a kind of a 6 to 12 month-ish kind of age.
That's cute.
I like to bounce them
Yeah,
around there,
that's
but
cute.
they're on there, so they're solid.
Nice.
So that's that.
Very nice.
Thank you. Now, my last couple of finished objects are some of those tea towel toppers. And when I showed them to you before, I just had to put the buttons on.
You've been busy again.
So there we go. Yeah, a little bit.
Those turned out
Now,
nice.
I just found these. I mentioned, Easter. There's still time if you want to do that. These are really nice tea towels.
Well, those would be great for Easter.
I got these at Walmart, and they were 2 for $6.97, and I can make 4 of those with that.
Wow.
Now, the cotton that I use is Bernat Handicrafter.
Oh, even with that on there?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
There
These
you
are
go.
beautiful tea towels.
I know. I'm really happy with
And
them.
they're perfect for Easter.
That's
Easter
what I
colors.
thought.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we've got a couple of booths coming up, so I figured I would try
Yeah.
and make some of that people might be interested in buying.
Yeah, just plain.
Exactly.
Nice.
So those are my finished objects. And May, how about finished objects for you?
I'm in the process of doing some finished objects, so they're not really technically finished
Okay.
objects. And I have some finished objects that I purchased and
Okay.
I've glued together, and I'm putting the pictures in here.
Okay.
And they're like they're called decor. They're just decor.
okay.
They're wooden things, but the one price tag on the one was $649.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know what, I'll probably sell them for $30 each. So hoping I'll make a little bit of money on those.
That's right.
So those were a work in progress. I had to kind of fix them up a little bit.
Right.
And they're ready to go up for sale. And so
Excellent.
that would be a finished object. And I've got some works in progress, so that technically we're on finished objects, not
Right.
works in progress.
No problem.
All right, that's it.
So that's a good segue. So next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is another one of the Christine button cowls. So I'm trying to do a little bit of new things, and then I'll do some things for the booth, because all of a sudden it's going to be the end of November and we're going to be needing to be ready to
We
sell
have to
things.
get some things ready for
That's
that.
right. So this is, I used Loops and Threads Charisma, and it is lovely.
Nice.
So I've got all the knitting done, so now I just have to sew it up and put the buttons on,
Very
and then
nice.
it will be done.
Yeah, it just looks like a scarf almost, and then you just sew it up differently, and it's...
You just did it.
And it's almost a scarf, isn't it?
It is.
With buttons.
Exactly. And
That's
then
what
it doesn't
it is.
have that extra
Right.
thing
Nice.
across.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yep. So I'm working at putting some things away, which is great. Now, the next work in progress is a new pattern, and it's called the White Thorn Cowl, and that's by Megan Nodecker, or Pippin Pin. And I am using the Loving Path Fiber Arts Tweed DK. Oh my goodness, beautiful yarn, and I'm really close to being done.
I don't know how you get all these names mixed up.
Well, you know, it's so funny because the one from Kate Atherley, which is called Lemon Difficult, I remembered it as Lemonade Shawl, but I was able to figure it out. So this, probably if I didn't have it in tweed, you'd see the holes open up, but maybe when I block it, you'll see that. So my big decision now, I have that much yarn left. I probably have 2 or 3 more rows, and I just have to decide about that little tassel at the bottom. I do like a tassel there because it kind of weighs it down, and so it doesn't ride up the same.
Yeah, it's really
I think
cool.
I'll have enough. I think I'll have enough. So
This is
we'll have a
nice. I
decision
like
to
the
make.
colors of that one too.
I
It's
know.
nice.
It's called, the color is
So
Steeled.
different. Oh,
Steeled, yeah.
different. You've done this before though. Yes, you've done this. with
Not
the
this.
tassel?
Nope.
No, you haven't done this
Nope,
before?
but
Oh.
the reason why I'm doing this is because I wore...
The one with the tassel.
Yep, birds and ships.
Right.
See, you made me
See?
say it again. Okay, and so that, I thought, I like that.
And I think because of the tassel, I thought that
It was the same thing,
but
yep.
it's not.
Nope,
Okay.
there you go.
Good.
So that's that. Now, my last work in progress is a Bom Beanie cowl, and thank you to May for helping me pick colors. So we got this when we were at the Little Red Mitten.
Nice.
Now, I probably will be able to make 3 or 4 of these. I'm not exactly sure. I weighed some yarn to figure it out. And I'm using Barocco Vintage DK. And it's a little less expensive because it is 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. So
But
it's
easy to
lovely to
wash.
work with. Easy to wash, easy to take care of. I like it's kind of heathery. And so I'm going to do one this way, and then I'm going to reverse the colors and do the darker with the lighter pink, which will probably show up this texture a little bit more.
Right.
And then I'm going to weigh everything, and I'm hoping I have about 50 grams left of each, and then I might be able to make 2 more.
Yeah, I like that.
least
I think
2
we
more.
should pick up more of that yarn and do some navies and whites too.
I think that would be a fantastic
Yeah,
idea.
great, because I like that yarn.
It is beautiful.
And I think those would sell.
I
think
agree.
those would sell.
And because the pattern itself, it is the Bom Beanie cowl by K.F. Jones. The pattern itself has fingering weight and has worsted weight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am obviously in the middle of those two.
Right.
And what I'm doing is juggling. How many stripes? How long am I making it?
Right.
But it's working out just fine.
Very nice.
So that's that. Now, my last work in progress is my blanket, which is my Swedish weaving blanket.
You've been working so hard on that.
I have.
I don't know how you got any of this done because you've been working on that Swedish blanket like every day for hours.
Yes, you are correct. I have. The one thing is I can knit and watch TV. I can do the Swedish weaving and listen to TV, but it's the up and down that doesn't work so well when I'm
Right.
doing it. And the other thing is I am taking the class at Stitch It Central, which is on Hamilton Road in London, Ontario. A lovely place. And Maria, the teacher, is amazing, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I am probably 7/8 done. I have to finish off the bottom half, and then I have to sew the edges and put some fringe on it. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy. I'm happy with the colors. The bedroom's blue, so it'll go really nicely
Right.
with it. So I'm very happy with it.
Now, one thing I do want to mention, you started off with a, just so that the knitters know out there that you
Right.
can change things up. You
Right.
started off doing it on a higher table.
Correct.
And your shoulder started to hurt, and it's that repetitive kind of thing.
That's right.
And then you thought, okay, lower the table. So
Right.
you used a smaller table that we
Right.
lowered.
Yep.
And then you started doing that, and your shoulder was a lot better.
Shoulder was
So
better.
if you have some knitting issues or you're doing some
Right.
repetitive stuff, it might just be as simple as just changing your positioning or lowering what you're doing.
It makes all the difference. When I'm taking the class, the table's a little higher. I tried to lift up the chair, some of them can, but after 2 or 3 hours. So what I need to do is, take some breaks, do some walk, get up and fold some laundry, get up and do something else so that I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah,
that'll help knitters too to know that they
Exactly.
can do different things.
That's
or
right.
crocheting or
exactly.
it's that repetitive stuff we do. Even in pickleball,
Yeah.
we're doing some repetitive squats,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel it.
Officially called pickleball butt. That's what we call it.
Yeah, well, I'm continuously have pickleball, so anyway, but it's fun.
So those are my works in progress. And May, how about works in progress for you?
I sure do have a work in progress. You and I, when we went on our adventure, which we will talk about in our adventure piece, I'm getting all mixed up today when I should talk about whatever. But it is a work in progress. It was a dining room table. Colleen and I have this old dining room table that was Colleen's mom's, and it's been great. And it was in sections, and it was really huge. But we don't entertain the same as what we used to before
no,
COVID.
that's right.
And we don't really need that huge table. And when
Correct.
the leaves are down, I kick my foot on that table. How many times?
Yeah.
And
It's
my
a
mom
Duncan
was,
fife with big legs. Yes.
and when the Duncan Fife things are fifing, my foot goes on that leg that sticks
Yes.
out. And it is kind of a modern home, like it's a newer home. It's not
Yeah,
like
that's true.
antique
That-
and the furniture. And we've always talked about maybe replacing it.
Right.
So then I was looking at brand new furniture, looking at brand new tables, and the price of furniture has really gone up, and they don't make them like they used to.
No, that's
But
for sure.
What I'm really drawn to is the antique mid-century, not antique, but then 80s, 70s, 80s maybe, mid-century.
Yep.
50s, 60s.
In there somewhere.
In there. The teak furniture, I
Teak
really like
furniture,
that.
yeah,
Teak
you love
furniture.
teak
It's the
furniture.
clean lines, it's simple,
That's
it's
right.
not heavy. Antiques to me are really heavy, big.
Right,
And we've
right.
got this tiny house, and it
Right.
doesn't really go with big, heavy
Correct.
furniture.
Yeah.
So I really like the teak furniture, and the one I've been looking at was over at Memory Lane over on Hyde Park.
Yeah.
and it was $1,000. So then I went on Marketplace, and I found one for $150. But of course, it needs work.
It does. And that is actually music to your ears.
Yes, it is. and really, even getting used ones at $150 was quite the deal. And so that was part of our adventure piece that we decided to go on this adventure and to get it, because it was about an hour and a half from our house, maybe an hour and a half.
A little bit more, yeah.
A little bit more, maybe an hour and 45 minutes away from the house to pick it up. Picked it up, really happy with it. I've started getting into it a little bit, but I haven't really done the work, because the stripper that you need for the table, because I have to strip it all down and refinish it all.
Yep.
The stripper that I need, the temperature has to be above 50. And we've had the odd day above 50, but it's never really stayed, or it's never been a day that I could work at it. And today it's snowing.
50 Fahrenheit, right?
50 degrees Fahrenheit, yes.
Okay,
So 10 degrees Celsius, I guess.
I think that's what it, yeah. Okay.
About 10 degrees Celsius, and it's kind of wavering around that, so I don't want to be too quick to do it.
Exactly.
But I'm really looking forward to doing that, and to see, I'll put a video up of how it finishes and how it ends up looking
that'll
at
be
the end of it.
fantastic. Because you're going to love doing it, and you'll do an amazing job with it.
And never done anything like this before, like stripped anything like this.
She's a brave soul.
Well, YouTube. I love YouTube.
YouTube is our friend.
And I learned so much, and I learn from doing and learn from mistakes, and so you might learn from my mistakes and what not to do too. I like that too, that I learn from other people's mistakes on YouTube too. So anyway, so excited to do that, and that's my work in progress.
So next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Our adventure today took us to Chatham, Ontario, Wheatley. It's about 15 minutes from Chatham, and that's where we picked up my works in progress, the table that I was going to get.
Beautiful teak table.
Yes, and it was great because we had the GPS, and we just went from one road to another. We had no idea where we were going, but it was like we were doing a lot of turns to get there.
Yeah, we were.
It did take us about an hour and 45 minutes, but it was a great trip.
Yes.
And on the way on that trip, there was a place called Parks Blueberries, and of course we had to stop there.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Colleen, there was no yarn for you to purchase.
No yarn.
But there certainly was blueberries and other things.
Exactly.
And you can tell us all about Parks Blueberries, which was awesome. And we've ate some of the evidence, just so you know.
Yeah, evidence, souvenirs.
Yeah, we ate some souvenirs.
We did. So we had been there before, but not like years and years ago. And so it was actually our friend Judy who suggested that we stop in. Oh, if you're going to Chatham, you can go to Parks Blueberries. And I went, oh yeah, it's fun to do. Because the blueberry farm, you can pick your own. Obviously, you can't do that in March. You can't pick your own. But it has a beautiful store. And they have all kinds of baked goods, and they have some jams and all different flavors of jams, and they have all different cool stuff for your kitchen, and they have tea towels and aprons and all kinds of stuff, and they have a little cafe.
Yes, we had lunch.
We had lunch there. And so we decided we would split a wrap. The wrap came with soup, and May is the soup lover, so she had the soup. And I had half a wrap, she had the other half, and then I got a tea biscuit, which was humongous. And if I'd known it was that big, I probably wouldn't have got the tea biscuit. Anyway, but it was delicious. Yeah. And May rescued me because I said, oh, this would be really good with some jam. And you went up and they said it's free.
Yeah.
You could get some jam. So delicious blueberry jam.
We bought some scones, and we gave them away. We bought some scones for other people.
Right.
And we bought some jam for other people that we gave away.
Yes, we did.
But I find that Parks, it's not on the way really to anything. So you really have to, if we're going to go there again in the summer when there's the blueberries are out, we're going to have to really plan just to go there, because there's really nothing out there.
A lot of people kind of go that way and then end up at the lake. They kind of go, and then we kind of went straight.
Lake Erie? Yes.
Yes, I'm going to say yes to that. And then
it is Lake Erie.
We'll write it below if it's not. It is. But it is a beautiful place. The store is lovely. The people serving were wonderful. They have all different artwork around.
You can buy a lot of frozen items, and a lot of frozen blueberries too. They come in great big boxes, and which the girl that was, this lady was getting some, and she said, they're so expensive, and if you buy the big box, it was a lot cheaper.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't price them. I don't know what they are in the store. But
yes, we didn't even think about those because there was a rhubarb custard pie that was sitting in front of me. Now, it was frozen, and you had to bake it. And I thought, May's not the fan of rhubarb that I am. Can I eat a whole pie? Which the answer to that's probably yes, but perhaps I shouldn't. It would kind of slow you down on the pickleball court. So we didn't get that, but it's calling to me. If they made a little one, I would have been at home.
Well, you know, and I suggested that you cut it up and freeze it in little parts, but you didn't really go for that either.
No, I really wanted it actually, but we might have to have another trip. There you go. But it was lots of fun.
It was nice. It was a great day, an unexpectedly good day. You know, I thought we were just going to pick up this table, but it ended up being a great day.
Exactly. So that's that adventure. And then I had an adventure. My mom needs to eat gluten-free. I take her gluten-free things, but I find as much as it should be easier to find gluten-free things, I used to be able to get donuts and muffins and those kind of things just at the regular grocery store, and you can't anymore.
Really?
So I have...
Or they're frozen. They're never fresh. Do you
find
that?
No, but I can't even find them frozen.
Oh.
So it's just been a frustrating thing. And I used to be able to... I've even tried going to 3 or 4 different grocery stores to say, where did this stuff go? So I'm not quite sure whether people are making their own. I don't know. So I have found some muffin mixes and made my mom some muffins. I've done that kind of thing as well. And then when I was looking at the mixes, I found this mix. Now, I don't know if I can pronounce it. Dwinkirken. Dwinkirken? I'm going to say that. This is old-fashioned cake donut. Gluten-free. Oh my goodness. So I thought, okay, I'll get the pan. I can make donuts. It's cake donuts. It's like making cake. And so I figured I would give it a shot. And whenever we're trying something new, we always try and film it so you get to see what it looks like, to see what works.
And a review and what does and what doesn't
work.
Or if it tastes good or if it doesn't taste good. You know. It's not necessarily the process of this, because you're basically just adding it's like a cake mix basically. You're adding oil and an egg.
Milk and an egg,
right? So it's not really like from scratch or anything.
No, but there are some
tricks to
the trade.
Yeah, well, that's great.
So that was my adventure.
And so we've put a little video together so that you could see this if you want to see the video. And we've also made it so that you could actually see the video without having to see the podcast. So you can skip through this part and just watch the video later. Or whatever you choose. But you have options.
There you go. So it was an adventure. Never made note of it before. Lots of fun.
We'll put that in there now.
On today's video, I am going to take you through the making of the Duncan old-fashioned cake donuts. My mom has to eat gluten-free, and I like to make her things if I can. And so what I decided to do, I found this actually at Walmart. It was not that expensive, and so I wanted to see if I could actually make her some donuts, because she'd been requesting them and I couldn't find them in any stores.
And I can be the taste tester. And basically it's kind of like a cake mix.
It
Only
is.
you kind of show them how to work way through if it's worth it or not, to see if we can do that. But I love,
because there's a few little tricks and a few things that I had to do.
Right, and even the pan to put them in was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
And you had talked before about it's not really that easy to get gluten-free items anymore off the shelf like we used to get gluten-free stuff.
I don't understand it, because I think more people are eating gluten-free, but I don't know whether stores are having to carry more things. I don't know, but I used to be able to go to Walmart, for instance, and get like a cinnamon sugar donut from my mom. Nowhere to be found.
So we're going to test this product today to see if it's worth it with you going to buy it and testing them, and I will do the taste test.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Maybe you can help me with the taste test to see if it's actually worth it.
Okay.
So we might as well just get started with that video.
So here's the box. It's an old-fashioned cake donut, vanilla, and it's gluten-free. So let's see what we need. We need some milk, and we need 1 egg, and we need some oil.
What kind of oil?
I used canola oil.
Can you use other ones?
You have to be careful. It needs to be a light oil.
Okay. And here's the pan that you purchased?
And I found that at Walmart as well. I needed to give it a clean before it was time to cook some donuts in it.
I do that with all the pans I buy brand new. I always give them a wash and make sure you clean out all the dust, and you never know if mice have been rolling over them.
Oh, well, we don't know to go there.
Well, you're giving it a good clean. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to preheat the oven then?
Yes, you need to preheat the oven. And you need to either oil or spray. I didn't have any spray, so I just used a bit of butter. And the donuts came out just fine. So just giving it a little wipe.
Now, calorie-wise, there are 190 calories for a quarter of a cup. Do you think that would be one donut, you think? Or
Close, I think.
or less, or yes?
Yeah. So I just had to put in the mix. And then there's the milk.
For those of you who don't live in Canada, we use bags, plastic bags for milk. Some countries find that very odd and strange. And if it's a blue bag, the milk lasts longer than if it's a white bag.
So there's the milk.
And
there's the canola oil.
that's the canola oil
Yeah,
you
it's
use.
nice and light.
Now, when you're mixing this, is there a consistency they tell you in the box, or do you just mix it until it's smooth?
You just mix it. Now what's nice, there's the egg. And I beat the egg before I put it in, just so that it would be all combined well. But you don't have to use a hand mixer. You just have to use a whisk when you're mixing it all up.
It's also good to do that with an egg in case the egg is bad, and then you've ruined everything. So
exactly.
that's what I'll learn from experience.
So there's the whisk, and I'm just gonna stir it all up.
So you don't even need an electric mixer for this
No,
thing?
it's fantastic. This company has other cakes and muffins and breads, and same thing. You just have to use it. You just want it to be nice and smooth. Now, it says it makes 6 to 8 donuts, and I have a pan that has 6, so I may have slightly overfilled the donut.
I thought they ended up being a good size at the end of it.
Yeah, they did. Just scraping down the sides, making sure I've got everything combined. Got 2 hands going here. There we go.
Now, the batter doesn't look like it's an easy batter to pour.
It's not. You know what?
Would you add more? Would you be tempted to add more liquid to this?
No. It was the batter was the right consistency. What I might have done is put it in a pastry bag and kind of squeezed it in.
Or a Ziploc bag would have worked too.
Yeah, you could use a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off. Yeah, no problem.
Because this looks just a little awkward.
It's a little finicky. But I was able to figure some things out. So I started off being good with it, and then I kind of blobbed it a little bit in a few of them. Yeah. And I think if I had not put the extra in, it would have been better. But I also knew that I only had 6 holes, so I think that's part of the problem.
I wonder if you could have just put them in another pan or something, or no.
Well, I thought about that, and then I didn't know what container I had. I guess I could have had a muffin tin, maybe. Could have put something in and made like a little cake, but I didn't have, like, it was fine. I had to do a little bit of fancy footwork, which we'll see later. There they are.
I just cleaned it all up.
Yeah, so I kind of pushed it around with a spoon, and then in they go.
To a preheated oven.
To a preheated oven.
And they were in there for, do you remember how long they were in there?
15
minutes?
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
Did you check on them halfway, or are you not supposed to open the lid?
Well, you're not supposed to open the lid.
The door.
We'll see what I did. Did I do 14?
Oh, you did 12. Well, no. Yeah, you did 12. Now you're making.
I did keep them in a little bit longer than 12. So now I'm making the icing. There is a recipe on the back to make icing.
Did they give you that in the mix?
No, it's not in the mix. I had to do this separately. But it was nice that they had the recipe so you knew what kind of glaze it was going to be.
Now you could use a sifter for this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now here, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you're very brave pouring that over top of that.
Yes, I am.
Were you thinking about that, or did you not think about that?
I just went for it.
Well, because sometimes, and especially with the milk bag, because sometimes it overpours.
Sometimes. You can't see that I was holding the bag, so it wouldn't do that.
Very steady in those hands.
There we go.
I trust you, I just don't trust that milk bag.
Yeah, I actually was holding on to the milk bag so it wouldn't do. I knew exactly what you're talking about, but I was holding on to the bag.
Because that's done that with me with a cup of tea. I've put way too much milk in because of the bag just couldn't.
Now this was trying to find the right consistency. I did what the recipe said, and I found that it was just a little bit too
Runny?
Runny. And so you'll notice that I put a little bit of extra icing sugar in just because I wanted it to have a little bit thicker consistency.
And this recipe was actually on the box?
Yes, it's right on the back of the box.
That's kind of odd. They don't give you the...
Now I know that at the superstore they have donut mixes as well, but they're not gluten-free.
Right.
So this was just to see if I could make some donuts for my mom.
So you were able to purchase this brand at Walmart?
At Walmart.
And also the pan at Walmart and everything else.
Right. Now if you take a look, do you see there's no holes? So you're supposed to let it sit for 2 minutes. So I took a plastic knife so I wouldn't wreck the pan.
That's a good idea. And were you thinking they were all going to dump out?
I was hoping they were going to dump out, but I don't think it ended up dumping like I wanted it to. And,
the one
I got
came
one
out.
out. So then I just thought, I'm just going for it. There we go. Now you can see that there's no holes in these donuts. So I had to work on that.
They look like they're a good texture when you're bringing them out, you know, like.
So I just took a knife and I just cut around, and then I used the end of the whisk to make the hole.
Voila.
So it's like little donut bites for us to give a taste test. I thought I'd better have a taste of it first before I sent it off to my mom. And I knew this side was the side that was going to be up because I wanted to make sure it looked like a donut. There you go. And the knife worked well. It also let me make sure it was all cooked within, and it was good.
It's a great idea.
So now I took the donuts and I actually dipped them right in.
You were very brave.
Well, you know, you just go for it. Give it a dunk, give it a twist, bring it back up. There it is. I think it was braver the first one. Same thing, give it a twist, bring it back up.
It does remind me of a cake mix.
Yeah.
You know, like what you would do with a cake mix, really.
Right.
Only a little bit less work, I would say.
Right.
And
now, you'll notice that I'm trying to put these sprinkles on, and the last donuts that I did, the sprinkles were sticking, and then I tried to do it on a few other ones that I had done earlier, and the sprinkles weren't sticking. So then we had to do some other work with some icing.
Did you have to make more icing?
I didn't have to make more icing, but I had to dribble. See how they're just bouncing off?
Right.
They're not really sticking. So what I did was put other icing on because I had extra icing left. So I figured I would just make strands. I've seen it at Tim Hortons. You'll see. Here we go. Those sprinkles weren't sticking, so I thought I'll put just a little bit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it wasn't quite so fancy to start with, and then I start to think I can make these look like Tim Hortons donuts. So you'll see that I started going back and forth with the icing.
Maybe there's a thing for us to, maybe we could go and sell them to Tim Hortons wholesale.
Yeah, they were fun to do, that's for sure.
Well, they've turned out, they look good. And then there you go, look at that, you have them all done. They look
Everything, all
consistent.
sprinkles
all
are
6 of
sticking
them.
on.
There you go.
Thumbs up. Well, May has got the donut. I've sliced off a few things. Now I dipped, as you saw, and then dipped into the icing and then came back and it wasn't as much, and so then I drizzled some more on, and then I thought, okay, I want it to make pretty, so then I threw some sprinkles. There's so many things you can do.
Did the sprinkles come with it, or
No, I had sprinkles in the cupboard, so we put those on.
All right.
Now, my understanding is you can freeze these. I know that the one that we had given to your mom to taste, and she loved it, had been frozen. So,
all right, well, let's do the taste test, shall we?
All right, here we go.
Definitely. Fresh. I won't talk my mouth full. Well, if you watched that little Colleen baking, I hope you enjoyed that. We certainly enjoyed I sat to sample it, of course.
Of course we did.
I enjoyed the donuts, of course. And I like the gluten, like no gluten in there, because it doesn't sit quite as heavy. So
I agree
it's
with
nice.
you. I agree with you.
So that was that.
So that is our adventure, and next we're going to talk about souvenirs. My first souvenir actually is our souvenir, and we've already tasted some of it. But that is, I'll let maybe Vanna, is the Parks Blueberry Jam. Now they have different flavors, combinations of fruit, but we just bought the plain blueberry. And I have bought blueberry jam before, and this is the nicest blueberry jam I've ever had. It is,
and I'm not a jam person, and
No.
I love this stuff. It's just
Exactly.
really nice. Now, price-wise, how is it? Sometimes you
It's
go to
a
these
little bit more, but it's not that much more,
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest with you. It's just a little bit more, but
Nice.
worth every penny, by the way.
Nice.
And it's not, how do you describe it? It's
Smooth, and it's not too sweet.
There you go. Those are the
That's
two
what I
things I
think.
would say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with a jam, it's like, but that one, delicious.
So if you're in the area,
There we go.
I suggest you go there.
All right. Now, the second, which is really my souvenir, it's called a blueberry colander pod. Now, let's tell you about the funny story. So, I'm very excited about this. It's a new gadget. I'm thrilled, and I'll explain what it is in a second. And I knew I needed to get it open. And we couldn't get it open.
No.
Didn't matter what we did, didn't matter what happened. So I'm not exactly sure what it was, but once it was opened, it's almost like it,
Maybe it was just sticky from the factory. You know what I mean?
maybe, I think
We'll
it
go
was.
with that because we really
All right.
tried.
Exactly. So this is called the blueberry colander pod because it holds 1 pint of blueberries,
Oh.
which is great. So that's just that little container of blueberries. Now, the top twists off. There's a little berry bowl, which keeps the berries from getting
Wet.
super wet. And then that's the bowl that holds it. So you rinse them off, get rid of as much water as you can, put that in there, and then you just twist the top. Blueberries are going to go into the fridge. If some little person or some big person decides to try and bounce them out,
Here we go again.
oh, there you go.
There.
The blueberries are not going to, you know that clamshell thing?
Yeah.
You know how it opens when you don't want it to? I have had
go.
blueberries run down the driveway, so I'm not taking this out. But anyway, that's going to be great, and it survived its first pint of blueberries, and it was lovely.
Yeah, you liked it. You
I
said.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I was taking a look at that colander pod, and I looked on Amazon, and I know how much we purchased it, and it was a lot cheaper actually at Parks Blueberries. So I don't know whether it was kind of the end of that item. I don't think so, but it's a fantastic gadget. And what I said to May, I said, I'm going to get this, and she looked at me like, okay, another gadget. But I said, May, that company that makes that is a good company.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a few things from them, so I think it would be good. And I am thrilled with it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Good.
So that was my souvenirs, and May has her table.
I've got my table. I was really excited about that. And I just
Exactly.
want to share with you, I don't know if you remember in one of the previous podcasts, I had bought this Fritz and Floyd cookie jar, and it was shaped like a little pink car, and I paid $20 for it at
You did?
at the Goodwill.
It was very cute.
And it was so nice. But $20 I found was a little steep.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I paid the $20. And anyway, I sold it yesterday for $60. So very proud of myself.
Good
And
job.
I like getting souvenirs and buying things and reselling them.
That's right.
what I like to do. But you can't really resell your yarn, can you?
No, unless I knit it into something, and then I can sell it.
If it's not nailed down, I'm selling it.
So I better keep running. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
But that's it for us, I guess.
Okay. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below.
Ring that little bell so you get notifications.
Perfect. And subscribe, because that really helps us do more of this for you. And if there's some place you'd like us to go, comment below, and that would be great. If there's some craft you'd like us to try, because we're always trying to find new crafts
Somebody
to do.
did mention a place for us to go, and I can't remember where. I'll have to check the...
Okay, we'll look back.
And so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And we did say that we would go there. We did say that, let's
Okay.
go there. But I
Okay.
can't remember for what it was right now.
Okay, we're two old ladies.
Yes.
Memories, woo, gone. So thanks again, and until next time.
You take